Hello everyone. Well then, we're going back to Luxembourg, and we're doing this for a special reason. I just hit 10k subscribers, and I asked all of you what you think I should do. I've got a strategy in the books right now for tank-only Luxembourg, and I had a strategy for Ottoman Empire with way less pain. You guys chose to inflict pain on me by making me do tank-only Luxembourg. However, we are only going to be forming the Benelux. That's at least slightly less pain than forcing me to try to do European Union with tank-only Luxembourg. Just slightly, just a little bit less pain. But I think this is doable. I do have a strategy. Yeah, we're going to take the Benelux. We're going to take over Belgium and the Netherlands, and we will form the Benelux. Yeah, we're going to have to fight Germany with tanks only. So buckle up. This is going to be fun for you, maybe. Probably not for me. Okay, so I do have some stipulations for myself as well. We do have one alliance that I am going to allow myself, although I'm going to do everything purely by myself. I'm not going to actually utilize any alliances to get manpower like I have done in the past, and I'm not going to use the alliance to bolster our territory. We're not going to give anyone military access at all. But like I said, I will be allowing one alliance and a brief alliance so that we can unlock this. That's at least slightly less pain for us, because if we have a faction member with more than 50 factories, we can then at least unlock this for an extra research slot. And I may do one shenanigan as well, try to get the USA. So I will be forming the faction with the USA, and I'm going to put them at war with the Soviets. Now what this does is creates a little bit of a balance to the force. I don't want any one faction to get way more powerful than others, because if they're all kind of fighting each other, we can pick up little bits and pieces in between and maybe carve a little bit out for ourselves and a little bit of strength out for ourselves while the others are all fighting, while the big boys are all going head to head. So that's why I'm going to allow myself to get the allies to then be at war with the Soviets as well. But like I said, we're not going to be utilizing any cheese of the faction variety. That's the plan. It is tank only. We will be allowing garrisons to be normal garrisons. Otherwise, it would just be way too insanely expensive to actually garrison anything. However, we're going to be completely constrained by manpower anyways. So even trying to do normal garrisons with cavalry or cavalry plus MP, something like that, it's still going to be insanely expensive for us until we get the Benelux formed. And once we have some of this core territory, just tanks. Like I said, we can do support companies too. Support companies are a-okay, but yep, that's going to be it. Let's go ahead and train one single public force. And we don't even need a whole lot of guns. Actually, this is probably perfectly fine. 210, even 116. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and switch to support equipment. We're going to need a lot more support equipment than we are going to need of guns. And we kind of have to optimize what we're building as well, because we're Luxembourg. We don't have the luxury of a whole lot of mills or civs. So we got to optimize the entire game here. All right, so political effort is done. First things first, we're going to be doing the silent workhorse. And as far as focuses from here on out, we're going to go industrial effort all the way down to the extra research slot. All right, so we did get our first infantry out. Now we're not going to train this guy or anything. He's just going to chill for a while. I mean, I guess you could say this is more cheese. That's not a tank, obviously. It's not a tank. All right, here, let's delete that then. I will some tanks eventually. I'll make a 2-width division and do the same thing that I would have done with infantry. But I know there's some of you out there that would already be raging at me in the comments. I deployed something that was not a tank. So I am going to be rushing the tank a little bit here. I did change my mind a little bit. I think I do want to get the 1938 medium, because it does cost the exact same as the actual interwar medium. So 3.6 there. And if we look up here, we are also, mind, it is cheaper. I thought they were the same price, but we do at least get some bonuses. We get more armor, we get more reliability, and we have better speed. Oh, I think I know why it's showing a different price, because it's adding the MIO, which actually reduces the cost by 3%. So normally it would be the exact same price. I'm not crazy. We'll need to get the interwar artillery as well. This does unlock the close support gun, which we will be using for our tank. Next up, we're going to be doing the armament efforts. We're going to go all the way down to the third one. Then we're going to switch and get down to deterrence. I am going to go ahead and keep upgrading the spy agency right now, because we actually have a debuff enough to building the mill anyways. So it's the perfect time to do this while we wait for China to do its thing, and then we can get our attaché sent and partial mob, and we'll start cooking on building the mills. But for now, we're going to go with the pills. Other good items to get here: army department, top tier; interrogation techniques, like again, top tier. If you can extract the enemy's spies so that they don't reduce our entrenchment, that is going to be huge for us. And passive defense as well does help to negate their spies in our region. All right, so this is another ahead of time thing that we are going to do. Engineer company 2, it's going to be very, very important, not only for the entrenchment that the engineer company does then get, the extra entrenchment, but also we get dozer blade. We also unlock flamethrower tank. Both of those are huge. Those are really, really good. We want both of those as soon as we can get them. Let's make our tank. Basic medium, we're going with light turret, light fixed, close support gun, secondary turrets, 2 of these HMGs. We're going with 2 extra ammunition storage for right now. We're gonna switch that in a little bit. We'll go ahead and apply the MIO bonuses because why not? And 4 armor ticks. Yeah, so that gives us just a little bit more armor to work with and makes an overall decent tank. I know the soft attack could be better, especially if we went to like the medium howitzer, but that's more tech to research. And on top of that, it requires tungsten, which we don't have. So, and plus it's more, well, actually I think the price is the same, but anyways. So yeah, we're gonna go with this. We will have most of the resources needed for this, so that's a good thing. That's a little plus. And let's go ahead and make our light tank as well. So we're going to do the same thing with the light fix superstructure. Now the reason we're doing that is because we need a lot of defense, and defense is a bit hard to come by. So we're also going to do the improves small cannon. This gives us 50 piercing, which we're going to need some piercing for our tank, and that's why I want to do this. I'm going to do the small cannon on this, and then just across the line extra ammunition storages, and we'll apply the MIO to this as well. We're not going to do any armor ticks, and this will be just fine. So there we go. Start producing that one once we get our next mill built. And because we are now producing tanks, we're going to do a single tank. There we go. And we're going to start training that. That way we can use this as our experienced workhorse. We're going to make all of our generals from that tank. We have enough for our first tank here to just deploy it. So let's go ahead and hire our military theorist before we do anything else. We're going to take Grand Battle Plan Doctrine, and then we're going to grab theater training. Now this one's very, very good because we can get brilliant strategist or inflexible strategist at a 50% chance. Now I believe this actually applies for both of them, so there's actually a chance that you get both of them on these tries. So that's insane if you can get a guy with both traits. It's so good. But we'll settle for one as long as we can just get one. There we go. We got a inflexible strategist. That's good. And let's see what else we can get here. We have limited command power, so that's going to be our limiter at the moment. But there we go. We got 2 inflexible strategists. We will hire some more guys in a little bit, but it doesn't matter if we take away experience level from this guy because we're just going to delete this unit anyways. Let's go ahead and make our division template design. We'll go ahead and just duplicate off of this one. We will make this elite, and we're just going to add in more medium tanks. So since this is tank only, that is what we're doing. Nothing else, tank only, and we will allow support companies. All right, so there we go. 40 XP more, and we're going to have ourselves a nice little division template here. Now we will add some more stuff later. I don't have the recon researched yet, so we will need to research that. All right, and there we go. We got engineer company 2. Now we get to switch a few things now because with that we can make a different tank. So we're going to switch out the extra ammunition storage. We're going to add in the dozer blade, and we're going to do the same thing on our light tank chassis. So we're going to switch out one of these for the dozer blade right there, and that'll still have a good amount of defense. Now there is something else that I could do with this one. It's a little bit of an interesting thing that you can do. You can actually, with these light tanks, you can actually switch to the petrol electric and get more defense that way. However, it does come with a cost increase, a speed decrease, and a reliability decrease. So it does hurt. Maybe I won't do that for now. I think it's okay like this. But we're going to switch out the productions on both of these. That way we can start having the dozer blade built. So it'd be a good idea to convert as well what we have currently made. All right, and there's Munich agreement. So now we can go ahead and guarantee Belgium. Oh, well, that's interesting. All right, well, we got one general that's actually a level 2. So we're going to promote that guy. We'll use a different guy. This guy would be fine. But yeah, that guy will 100% be an amazing field marshal because of that. Look at that defense stat too. That's good. That's really good. All right, I'm gonna move these forts up to the top because I'm getting nervous that we're not gonna have them done in time. So we'll just finish them now. That way there's no issues there. All right, so I've just spent a bunch of XP. We got static warfare. So we went all the way down to infiltration as well. And we are going right side this game because we will pretty much be defending. And these ones give some pretty nice bonuses. You get a little bit of extra org. You get the 25% extra land night attack. That does help for attacking or defending. Oh, that's the issue. Okay, so this is an easy fix. We can actually just make it so it will not use these tanks that I renamed. And then all of those will go into stockpile. So we need to update that. And now all those tanks will be in the stockpile. So now we'll be able to convert those. That was the issue. All right, there's the pull and attack. The attack on us will be coming soon. I'm gonna have to stop training. That's all there is to it. And we have 28 command power. We're cutting it really close. I'm gonna go defensive doctrine first. Once we can afford it, I will add the unyielding defender here. We will be getting attacked before too long because they'll do the Belgium attack and then we can actually defend Belgium. We do want to make sure to do war propaganda. It's very important so that we actually have decent war support. All right, so we got full fuel. I'm gonna go ahead and stop trading. The Netherlands is getting attacked. They will be destroyed really quickly, and then Belgium will be attacked, and we can go ahead and join the fray at that point. Oh, and one more thing to do. We have enough command power, so let's give this guy unyielding defender. Now, normally you would probably not have a level 2 general. We certainly got lucky in that aspect. And there's the Belgium attack and call to arms, accept, and we are now in the war, so we can go ahead and do why we fight. We can go ahead and switch to extensive. We are not going to join the Allies. We do not want to join them. They are the garbage faction.
Hey, nice clothes, gentlemen. I didn't know the Salvation Army was having a sale.
Hey, where did you get those clothes? At the toilet store?
We'll create our own democracy. That's way better. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go build my own faction with blackjack and hookers.
All right, so we are getting attacked. You can see they're doing an immense amount of damage. Somehow they were doing one soft attack and they did damage to us. Like they actually did a stupid amount of damage to us. That makes no sense whatsoever. One soft attack, both of their infantry did one soft attack and somehow they did almost 500 casualties. That's some nonsense. I don't understand how that was able to happen. Okay, they're doing more attacks actually. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, dude. I don't get that. We're gonna have to mitigate the casualties from here on out. So despite us essentially having extended the Maginot Line to pretty far into the north, and you can see how many troops they have around surrounding our nation. Yeah, it's not gonna help the French enough. Just our two piddly little tanks, it's not enough to actually stop them. But we do have 80% war support now. Let's go ahead and do total mobilization, and we're gonna do women in the workforce. All right, so now that we have some manpower, some excess manpower, we can go ahead and change this. We have the armored recon company that we can put in here, and I'd like to only put the ones in that actually have entrenchment, which is just the top one. So we're gonna unclick those and save. That doesn't look good. Instant complete attack. I don't like that. We're gonna take a lot of casualties here, or maybe not. Actually, I don't think we took hardly any there. We took like 100. Okay, not bad at all. That's acceptable losses. We need to get this pumped up to where we are basically knocking them out right away so that we don't have a long continuous battle. We want them to basically just attack us, get deorged, and then we can be on our merry way, and so can they. That's the goal for this. That looks a little bit better. We can also start building some flame tanks. That's gonna be our next step. We do want to add in flame tanks. So I'm gonna do the same thing, light fixed turret, flamethrower. We're gonna add in dozer blade and then just 3 extra ammo storages. So it'll make it nice and cheap, but it will still do a decent job for us. So we'll save that, we'll produce it. I'll stop producing the light tank for a while. We just need like 15 of those and then we can add those in. So, and those actually only take 300 manpower each, which is quite the bargain. All right, so we got why we fight. So that actually unlocks us to be able to create factions, which is crazy. And I'm gonna go ahead and do one faction. This is the only faction I'm gonna do. I'm not actually going to really be using them as an ally, although I am going to be using them to kind of create chaos. We're going to try to get them at war against the Soviets. So in the effort to do that, we're going to go ahead and justify against the Soviets right now. And yeah, we want the allies at war with the Soviets. We want the allies at war with the Axis. We want a lot of chaos in this game. And the more chaos we have, the more unlikely it is that the Germans and the Axis will just instantly get knocked out by the allies or by the Soviets. So if we have a little bit of strife between all the nations, we can profit from that as Luxembourg and eventually as the Benelux. So that's the goal here with this. Now it has an added benefit. When we create this faction, we can actually do technology sharing as well. And that will give us 1 extra research slot, which is going to be huge considering we only have 3 currently, and it's hard to get a lot of things done. So we'll get that research slot, we will declare war on the Soviets, and then we're just going to kick the USA. So they're not going to be in our faction for too long. Just a alliance of convenience. So far we haven't taken a whole lot of casualties. 609 right now. Not really that bad, all things considered, especially considering that first attack that we took that was actually pretty devastating. That was a nasty attack. So yeah, I don't think this is so bad. All right, I'm gonna do something right now that makes maybe it's a bad idea to do, because there's still a lot of doctrine that we haven't unlocked. Like, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more doctrines to get, but I think there's something more important, and what that is professional officer corps. Now this is going to give us an extra 15% division experience gain. Also going to increase our maximum command power, which is also useful, although that's not the main thing that we want here. We want that division experience gain, because if we can get our divisions to better veterancy faster, that's going to be massive. It's another 25% attack for us. So it helps us to deorg the enemy faster, and that's exactly what we want to happen. All right, we have 28 of these flame tanks now. I'm going to go ahead and add these in to our division. Yeah, it's just going to be good. It's more entrenchment that we have overall. Now this soft attack and hard attack is completely incorrect. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, pay no attention to that. We're getting improved oil processing because we don't want our oil reserves to go too low. We did finish our synthetic factory here, but we're not going to be able to get another synthetic factory until we actually get the next concentrated industry. So we could rush this. I guess that's not a terrible idea. All right, let's take a look at our esports stats. So we're looking pretty good. Our defense is actually not bad, especially considering they have massive air superiority. That's giving them a big bonus, but our entrenchment is good. It looks like it is being reduced a little bit, probably from an intel network. Yeah, there's actually 2 different intel networks in us right now, reducing our max entrenchment, which is a bummer, but 66% is still not bad considering like our divisions are only 14 width. Yeah, we're just trying to max out the entrenchment so that we can do more damage to the enemy faster. The damage stats are looking pretty good. Let's look at our experience. Okay, 23%. We're well on the way to the next level of veterancy, and once we get that, like I was saying before, we'll end up getting 50% modifier in combat versus the 25% that we're getting currently. Now we do have a surplus of some manpower. I think I'm going to go ahead and start training another tank. Now I'm not going to actually set this yet because I don't want it to actually deploy until later. So we do need to have this deployed before September of 1940. That seems to be when they start going a little bit crazier with their attacks. I don't know why that is, just AI behavior for you. So I couldn't tell you why they do what they do, but that seems to be the case, that they like to attack at that point. So we need to be ready for that and have more tanks out so that we take less damage, and then we're able to deal them faster. So we are getting close to the 5% mark. Let's go ahead and switch to service by requirement. I don't want to miss that and have some days where we're not still increasing our manpower. So it's better just to take the hit of that 10% construction speed, factory output, all that stuff, rather than waiting too long and forgetting and then not getting the increase in manpower. So the manpower is incredibly important, as you can tell, to be able to continue pumping more tanks out and all that good stuff. All right, we have our justification down against the Soviets. So this may seem insane, but we are already insane because we're playing tank only Luxembourg. So why not declare war on the Soviets? All right, we're going to call the USA into this battle. But like I said earlier, we're basically doing this strategy entirely alone. So we're going to call them into the war and then say, see you later, United States. Actually, wait, no, I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to wait until Mexico gets called into the faction, and then I'm going to deny that request. So we'll wait just a little bit longer. They should be doing that really soon. All right, I'll show you guys when it happens. And there we are. So we're just going to say we have other plans for Mexico. This will help to keep the Mexico out of the allies for a while. It's not going to keep them out permanently, but it's at least cool that they won't be in right away. Like I said, we want to create that little balance of the force. We've got to make it so the allies aren't too strong, make it so the Soviets aren't too strong, make it so the Axis isn't too strong. And as they're all battling each other, we will profit. We will find the spoils. So we're going to go ahead and kick the United States now. Boom, boom, boom. And we'll just leave our faction up. That way no one invites us to our faction. I don't want anyone to do that. It's really annoying to get a million invites. We'll still get a whole bunch of invites for like non-aggression packs and stuff. And I don't want to do any of that either. So they need to just leave us alone. I need one of those doormats. There we go. So the United States joined right away to the Allies. And as you can see, there's now a British war on the Soviet Union, British war on Tanatuva, British war on Mongolia. So it's good. There may be some conflicts here with like Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. You know, they might end up getting some borders, maybe possibly even a Turkey border. Okay, so this is for a possibility way later down the line once we've united the Benelux. But I'm going to go ahead and get the Chief of Air Force now, as well as the Chief of Navy. Now that's going to unlock some possibilities down the line for us so that we can potentially build a Navy, potentially build an Air Force. We'll see. But first we got to unite our nation. That's priority number one. All right, so they're actually kind of starting on these like all-out attacks. I mean, it's not all out. It wasn't a complete like circle attack, but it's still worrying me a little bit. I can see my org starting to go down, my strength starting to go down a bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and dump this tank out right now while they're attacking. That keeps the tank safe as well because it'll give it a couple seconds to gain some org while they're attacking, and then it won't just instantly die if they attacked again. And then if they inflicted org damage, it would just instantly kill that new tank. So obviously we don't want that to happen. We want to get this entrenched as quickly as possible. It should do okay-ish. Now it is green, so the amount of damage that it's going to be doing and the amount of defense that it has is not going to be great, but hopefully it won't take too much damage. And then combined with, you know, the more amount of soft attack that we'll be doing against the enemies, hopefully we can then de-org them faster once again. That's the idea with this, to dump some more tanks out. Hopefully then, yeah, you're going to take less damage overall. And this is also going to get experience for this new tank as well. All right, it's time to train a 4th unit. Oof, one of those attacks just did like 500 casualties. I don't like it. There's nothing we can do about it. The sooner we can improve our night attack, that will help, because yeah, we're losing 50% right now from night. So once we get the night attack, we'll only be losing 25% then. So the metric that I use for if I'm doing good enough though, we're at 101 against Germany right now. So 2,230.2 casualties. So I think we're doing all right still, but we're getting closer to that line. And I really want these guys to just get experienced enough faster so that we can really start inflicting massive casualties when they do these attacks against us. Okay, so this is going to be a bit early to be dumping this out. It does have all the manpower that it needs. It has all the tanks and equipment that it needs, but it is only at the 20% training mark. But I think it's going to help once again. So we'll get this one fully entrenched as well, and I think then we'll be in pretty good shape. All right, so it's now the end of March 1941. I'm doing a couple ahead of time things here. I'm doing Engineer Company 3 because that is going to help us with our entrenchment, our river attack and defense, fort attack, urban attack, just lots and lots of good things. So I'm also doing this Night Vision 1 because that will help with our land night attack as well. And obviously that's a good thing if we can be doing more damage at night. We're also doing fuel refining. I'm trying to make sure that we're getting all the fuel techs that we can. We're also building a synthetic currently, and we have lost 2.9k casualties to Germany's 403,000. So I'm feeling pretty good about this now. We aren't losing too many casualties. They're doing fairly sizable attacks, but I think this was a good strategy to try to get these guys seasoned and just hire veterancy as quickly as possible, because they are doing just immense damage and it's great. All right, so we can actually add to this general the Panzer Expert, and we can finally increase our night assault tactics. So we are going to do 25% more damage at night now. All right, so once again, we are getting close to the 10% mark now. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to all adults serve. Even though we could wait a little bit longer, I just don't want to lose any of that time. Oh, Germany is attacking. All right, great. So this means I can fairly safely push out here soon. I have 3 more tanks currently ready, and that gives us a total of 7 tanks. I want to have 8 tanks for the attack to where I'm going to try and retake the Benelux. All right, I'm going to go ahead and push into the next province here. So I just dumped out these other 2 units. They will be entrenching, and if we get attacked, they should be able to hold because we'll be pushing out. We actually have one guy that's a veteran here, which is crazy. It's super strong. 75% extra attack. Very good. Coming up against some enemy tanks that we can't actually pierce. That's a bit of an issue. All right, we got that. So let's go ahead and start building our forts there. We are going to take some casualties doing this attack, but in the end, it's going to be worth it because we're going to get the fort line built up here, and we really need forts built here so that we can then push out and take the entire Benelux. That's pretty key to the part of the plan. Well, Germany brought all these panzers to the west. It's like, what do you think of Germany? Like, you have a massive war raging in the east, but I guess they just want to finish this off, which I mean, I guess that's understandable, right? They probably should do that. Oh man, we're gonna be taking some painful casualties here. I went ahead and dumped out my last 2 divisions to help in the effort of defending the north here. It's going a bit better now that we have those there, I think. We're doing good on fuel. I'm pretty happy with how that's going currently. I'm gonna keep doing these fuel refinings so that we can continue onwards and upwards and always have enough fuel for what we want to do. So, but soon I'm gonna try to actually push out from here, and we're gonna try to just quickly envelop and take the entire Benelux. We'll see if we can do it. It's a bit risky, but the sooner we can do it, the better it is for us. Germany's starting to make some pushes here in the east. All right, I'm gonna do something that seems once again a bit counterintuitive, but it's all in the effort of strengthening the Axis. So if we declare war on the German Protectorate of Denmark, their troops will be available for use because they're going to be in the same wars that Germany is in. I think they should join all the wars. Yeah, they're against the Allies now. They should be against the Soviets and everyone else. So they should be able to help now, and before they were just being a puppet, just chilling. So that frees up their troops. That gives the Axis a tiny little boost. I want the Axis to have as many boosts as possible. So there you go. Okay, so basically right now I'm just kind of waiting to have enough trucks because we need more trucks so that we can actually push out. So that's our current issue. We should be better here before too long, and then we can push out with these tanks. All right, I have one more division that I'm going to dump out here, and this one is not going to be able to hold very well. It doesn't have enough tanks. It's going to be low veterancy. It's in the effort of being able to push faster. All right, I'm going to send one of these tanks up here as well. We're going to motorize all of these, get them all in place. We have 8 divisions that we can do stuff with here, and we're going to be pushing out. So this division should be able to hold while we're doing the pushing and while we're trying to get out. So yeah, Soviets are doing surprisingly well. I'm kind of curious just how well they're doing. Let's see if we can take a look at the German-Soviet War. Ooh, 2 million to only 1.1 million casualties. That is not great at all. Yeah, I don't like that. That's unfortunate. I think we're gonna have a weak Germany this game, which is really, really sad. Yeah, we've got a United Kingdom landing over here. This ain't good. We got Free France with Algeria too. That's also not good. I don't like a lot of this. Hopefully the Axis can turn it around a little bit, but I'm about to do something that is not going to be good for them. So, all right, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. All right, so we already motorized. So can we do it? Yes, we can. Let's give it a whirl. All right, I'm gonna slow it down because this is gonna get crazy. All right, we're pushing, and we have full motorization, so we'll have decent supplies for a little bit. Hopefully we can make it all the way there to all the different places that we need to go. We knock those units out really quickly. No problem whatsoever. Ping us again. Leave us alone. Now we're gonna be pinning them instead. All right, win. Push those units out. Come on, baby. All right, looking good so far. I may need to pin the unit here if they start trying to push into Liège, because Liège is one of the territories that we need to hold. This is not good right here. Unit back. The other option we would have is we could counter-click these guys, but then that's going to destroy our entrenchment. So not necessarily a great option. I think we can just move this one back to reinforce and then be okay. All right, we are nearly into Rotterdam, oddly enough. Didn't expect that. We got Breda, we got Arnhem. I'm gonna click that unit. So far this is looking pretty nice. Nice. This is the only issue right here. All right, what else do we need to do here? We'll click that unit, because why not? It's all about the counter clicks, baby. All right, we're almost there. We just need Amsterdam. 1 day and 7 hours. I really need these guys to stop doing this. Annoying. Ooh, the infantry equipment. Oh, yeah, because it's not cores yet. Of course. All right, so the counter click there was very nice. We're not trying to retake anything yet. Let's we'll grab the Order of the Lion for these guys. Those are very strong. Helps to keep our experienced troops in place so that we don't lose them. So I like all of those very, very much. All right, we're almost there. Doing all the counter clicks. I'm gonna get troops back into place down there. Let's get this guy into Arnhem again. Make sure we don't lose that. And boom. We can repudiate the Treaty of London. Look at that. Look at that with 9 divisions. You gotta love it. So that is how you form tank-only Benelux. However, we're not truly done yet because we need to retreat. We can't actually hold all this. That's the problem now. Unfortunately, I would love to be able to hold this, but we just can't. So I'm going to retreat all the units back, and then we're going to slowly inch our way back into retaking all the Benelux again. Now, the nice thing about this is if we can hold Liège, we'll still have a good amount of everything that we want. So of all the manpower that we want, all the factories, there's a decent amount of factories there as well. And I think then we'll be able to push out from there. So right now, yeah, if we just hold Maastricht, Liège, and Luxembourg, and of course this forest tile, I think that would do the trick. Now with 9 divisions, can we do that? It's gonna maybe be a little bit tight, but I think we should be able to pump out the divisions because we'll have more factories now. And there we go. So May of 1942, with the Luxembourg conquest of the other Low Countries, their government has quite vocally defended its actions. They now lay claim to be the immediate and lawful successors to the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. So yes, we are taking back our country, getting all the way back. We're falling back now because we cannot reasonably sustain holding all of this land at the moment. But like I said, we're going to rebuild and build back better. We're going to get strong. It'll be good. All right, so one other thing that we can do here, we can go back down to extensive conscription. That's very important to do because that's going to give us better construction speed, better production output, all the things that we need. Ooh, we're going to be taking some damage here until we can properly dig in and build forts there. We're going to be taking some serious damage. Although we're still only at 6.6k, which is not bad at all. All right, so now that we have taken the Benelux, I'm going to create a new tank that's going to be a little bit cheaper, and in that sense it's going to also be better. So we'll mark save as new. I'm going to change the cannon that we're using. We're going to be using just extra ammo storage on these bad boys, and that'll give us a little bit of breakthrough, decent amount of defense, and super low production cost. Now the soft attack is not going to be great, but that being said, we kind of need something cheap. So we're only going to keep those 6 on that, and anything else is going to be started in on building us these instead. Okay, so you can see that our fuel is slowly going down now. It's maybe somewhat replenishing, and we still have 37k, which isn't terrible, but we will be needing to build another synthetic refinery. Now we do have more building slots now because we do own Wallonie, which, yeah, that gives us a platform to build some more things. So that's good, but it's going to take a little while because we do need to build some forts too so that we take less damage. If we don't do that, we're just going to be taking all the damage, and we're not ever going to be able to get ahead of this deficit. Okay, so our casualties are ramping up, but so are Germany's. Man, 1.4 million inflicted now for 11.2k, and I doubt their war against the Soviets is not going well. You would think they would slow down a little bit against me because of that, but they're really not. They keep attacking over and over and over, and it's getting them nowhere. So yeah, not too smart, Germany. Oh no, this might be the beginning of the end for the Axis. That's not good for us because we want the Axis to survive, but I think they've wasted so much against me, and Germany can't do well against the Soviets, clearly. They haven't even taken Kiev. It's been about a year. Yeah, I don't like this. I was hoping the Axis could do a little better. Oh yeah, Italy is falling insanely fast. Yeah, this is not good. This is a very weak Axis, unfortunately. We got hyper unlucky. Oh, Chile declared war on Japan though. Interesting. Oh, there's at least a strong Japan. That does help some, but with the Axis being this weak, we're gonna have to try to take the Benelux as quickly as we can. All right, 1943, and they finally took Kiev, so it's not looking good for the Axis. They are starting to push some. They did take Murmansk. That's kind of a good sign, but this whole situation with Italy is definitely not good. It looks like maybe they're actually pushing back a little bit. Possibly Vichy is actually leading the charge on that, or maybe Germany pulled some troops back and is able to push that. Not sure, but yeah, it looks like they're actually starting to push the UK out, which is impressive considering what we've done to them and what the Soviets are doing to them. Yay, we finally got it. We can request trades of foodstuffs for ball bearings. I don't know how we're going to be able to get foodstuffs to them in exchange for those ball bearings, but somehow we'll do it. So this is going to give us a nice reduction of costs for our medium tanks, which is going to be huge, and it'll be really good. So let's do it. Wow, the Axis actually took Rome back. That is crazy impressive. I did not expect that at all. Okay, sorry. This makes more sense. Yeah, this is the Axis that I know and love. They took Rome back and then promptly lost it again. So well done, chaps. All right, so the UK just went for Iraq. That could be a good thing. Yeah, especially because Iran is currently in the Comintern. So if they can put pressure on the British Raj and have another front here against the Soviets, then I am gonna really like that, because that's gonna hopefully release a little bit of a pressure valve here when they have more of a front here to fight on. Oh no, there goes Italy. Regno del Sud has joined the fray. So we just got regular Italy in Sardinia now and in northern Italy. So hopefully they can hold up here in these mountains and rivers. I don't have high hopes for them. We'll see what they can do. Oh, we got a little naval invasion going on here. Naval invasion action. hope they don't succeed there because I would like to take that myself. All right, I think we're finally about ready to push out and take our next territory. So once you get more than 5 policies too, you can actually do, where is it? Cutting corners. This does negative 10% production cost for all tanks. Pretty strong. Definitely gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch all of these out. All right, so we're ready for the push. We're leaving a little bit of a skeleton crew here, but we really need to take this next territory. If we can get Antwerp and Brussels, it's going to be huge for our economy. We'll be able to pump out so many more tanks than we currently can. We need tanks that can go up to here, and we need tanks that can go into Brussels. I think we should be able to push through these guys fairly easily. And we're also going to, oh shoot, I should have done this already because we're going to need the railway built. All right, I'm just going to push with everything into Antwerpen. We're somehow struggling to push these guys. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, I'm going to leave one troop there. Need to leave these here. Light consumption reduction is also a good medal. Give your visions. All right, we're into Antwerpen. I'm gonna hold back one of those, and we do need to build some forts here too. I'm gonna build these as soon as possible, but first things first, we really got to build this railway because we need to be able to connect this here, Brussels. Oh, they're attacking us back now, starting the counterattack, but so far we're holding and building another tank. These are our most veteran troops up here, so that's good at least, but they can only do so much. They still need solid forts behind them and everything. Oh man, British Malaya just capitulated. That's pretty good, although you still have fairly powerful Dominion of India. Japan's starting to really make some pretty decent pushes. It looks like they might be able to actually cap Mongsi Click. They're pretty much done with the Dutch East Indies. They're not in bad shape at all. They're doing quite well for themselves, and they're knocking out some of the allied members as well, which is a great thing for us. Oh man, Afghanistan just joined the Soviets. This is getting interesting. We're gonna have more pressure on India now, and that is definitely a good thing because that also releases some pressure against the Axis. I'm gonna make a push for Breda here soon, trying to pump out the divisions as quickly as I can, and that way I can push. All right, I'm gonna make a play to go all the way up to Amsterdam. So I'm gonna try to get all 3 of these territories here. See if we can do it. I'm gonna need to leave something in Amsterdam because they more than likely will try to counterattack it. All right, so we've liberated Breda and the Brabant province, and we're about to get Amsterdam. There we go, beautiful. Oh, look at all those factories. Glorious. Wow, Japan actually took Pearl Harbor. That's crazy. Well done, Japan. All right, well, we only have 1 more province to liberate right now. Even though it doesn't look like we have much for a nation, we actually only need Friesland still. We have Holland, we have Brabant, we have Vlaanderen, we have Wallonie, and of course we have Luxembourg itself. So we're in good shape here. I just need to kind of clean up these borders and push a little bit more. So I'm trying to pump the tanks out so that we have enough to be able to hold all of our borders and so that we can keep pushing. Whoosh. All right, it's time to surround all of these units here. It looks like we have to hit this tile and then this tile, and that'll be a full surround. I'm gonna go for Arnhem as well, and we're gonna push into Utrecht. And there's the surround. Now we just need to finish off these divisions, and we hold, once again, have liberated Friesland. All right, so we have all of our provinces. I'm gonna mop this up real quick. I think I'm gonna call this good now. So we are secure in the Benelux. We have retaken our rightful cores, and we have 72 factories. We now are considered a major. We have all 5 research slots unlocked, and we have a wild world going on here. Japan's absolutely crushing it. India is now starting to get pushed in. The entire Pacific is kind of falling apart for the Allies. This is how you form the Benelux, with tank only. We did it by October 1944. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, leave a comment what you think. And if you want to see me do, let's see, how many likes do we need? Let's get 1,000 likes. That's probably conservative. Maybe not. I don't know. 1,000 likes. I'll continue this. We'll try to form the EU, and I'm gonna lose my mind doing that, but I do it for the memes. So all right guys, bye bye, see you guys later.